Welcome back in to Occupy Democrats. And over at Trump's DOJ, Pam Bondi right about now is screaming, "Hey, lawyers overboard." Because you know the old cliche as it is in this breaking story, if you see one cockroach, there's 500 you can't see. And what we have today in this story is the fact that no one, rather everyone, is running from the Trump ship. They're going to run out of life preservers really soon because legally they have put themselves, or rather Donald Trump has put them, in a position of lose, lose, no win, never win. I'm going to show it to you in a few seconds because you know Trump pushed Bondi to indict James Comey, former FBI director. However, what we've left behind is the fact that he has a daughter named Maureen Comey, and oh my goodness, she is going to flip the boat. But first, take a quick listen to what CNN and Jeffrey Toobin had to say about Maureen Comey. This.
Can we talk about Maureen Comey for a second? Maureen Comey was for 10 years an extremely successful, dedicated, and ethical assistant U.S. attorney in the Southern District of New York. She was a high-ranking person in that office. She became the head of the Public Integrity Unit. She supervised the case against Robert Menendez, the corrupt senator. She tried Ghislaine Maxwell. She tried P. Diddy. The idea that she got fired is a disgrace to the Justice Department.
And that happened in part because of this.
A federal grand jury has indicted former FBI Director James Comey. The DOJ is charging him with one count of making false statements to Congress and one count of obstruction of justice. All right, President Trump commented about the indictment this morning on Truth Social, calling Comey, quote, a dirty cop who made a, quote, very serious and far-reaching lie for which a very big price must be paid.
But it happened without cause.
And Jay Clayton, supposedly the U.S. attorney in the Southern District of New York, ought to resign himself in disgrace because he allowed this to go on. This is an outrage that this woman got fired.
Let me add to what you're saying.
And of course, Trump tries to pretend nicey poop when he talks in front of the cameras, but we know the truth despite him saying this.
It's about justice, really. It's not revenge. It's about justice. It's also about the fact that you can't let this go on. They are sick, radical left people, and they can't get away with it. And Comey was one of the people. He wasn't the biggest, but he's a dirty cop.
A person familiar with the situation said that having a Comey is untenable in this administration, given her father, James Comey, is, quote, constantly going after the administration. Last I checked, James Comey has been writing fiction novels.
And Jeffrey Toobin is right.
This is an outrage.
And when it's all said and done, what is going on now? Well, Maureen Comey has sued the DOJ. And guess what? No one wants to get near it because they know it's a lose-lose, completely lose, maybe get disbarred case. And the person who's going to get stuck with it is Pam Bondi, and she deserves it. Check this story out. Breaking news. U.S. Attorney General Bondi struggling to find lawyers to deal with lawsuit from Comey's fired daughter. A lawsuit against the Department of Justice filed by the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey is being delayed because no federal attorneys are willing to take it on, according to a report. Maureen Comey, a former federal prosecutor with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, who played a key role in the criminal cases against Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, was abruptly fired by the Department of Justice in July with no explanation. In September, Comey sued the DOJ, President Donald Trump, Attorney General Pam Bondi, and others, alleging that she was fired without probable cause and solely because her father is a longtime nemesis of the president. James Comey was indicted on charges of lying to Congress in September in what was widely seen as a part of a political retribution campaign carried out by Trump against his adversaries. 2 months later, the DOJ has not responded to the lawsuit, in part because the department is struggling to assign an office or attorneys to handle the case, sources told the New York Times. The Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office, where Comey was previously employed, has declined to work on the case due to her close ties to the office. The Brooklyn prosecutor's office also wants to maintain its distance because it is closely linked to the Manhattan branch due to personal ties among its lawyers and investigations often overlapping. The Federal Programs Branch of the DOJ's Civil Division, which typically handles high-profile lawsuits, is also not taking it on, though it remains unclear why. Comey is not seeking financial compensation beyond back pay, legal fees, and reinstatement to her former position. The delay prompted U.S. District Judge Jesse M. Furman, who is presiding over the case, to postpone a hearing scheduled for November 3rd and give the DOJ a new deadline to respond, reported the Times. The department, along with the named defendants, including Bondi, now has until November 21st to file an official response. Elsewhere, a legal watchdog group on Tuesday demanded that the president's handpicked prosecutor who brought the charges against James Comey and fellow Trump nemesis, New York Attorney General Letitia James, be investigated. The Campaign for Accountability, CFA, has asked the Florida Bar and the Virginia State Bar to probe Lindsay Halligan, a 36-year-old former Miss Colorado beauty pageant contestant, over claims she filed charges on Trump's behalf despite, in quotes, a dearth of evidence that either Comey or James committed a crime. The Daily Beast has contacted the Department of Justice for comment, and of course, no response thus far. She is not even asking for any form of injury payment. She just wants her back pay and her job back. How democratically kind that is of someone who's as much of a jerk as Donald Trump and the gerrymandered, completely flawed, full of it, personal lawyer that he's turned Pam Bondi in the Attorney General's office into. Maureen Comey literally is taking the high road, and they refuse to even get on the road. And I will tell you, over the next 4 to 6 months, you're going to see a lot of this. They've cleared out so many legitimate lawyers and so many legitimate judges out of the judicial side of our branches of government. All across the country, people are scared to get anywhere in line with a Trump or DOJ suit because so many of them are completely flawed and have no basis for prosecution. Oh, there's more of this coming. And Maureen, I'll just say it now, welcome back to your job at some point in 2026 in the Southern District of New York. You guys like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay frosty.